Good evening everyone. Today in this video I'm going to present the topic of pre-cargo loading. In this video you will see some essential points for the functionality of this operation. In the most contracts of carriage, the ship's owner's responsibility began at the time of loading and it is, therefore, important to inspect the cargo at this stage. Pre-shipment inspection of cargo is undertaken to determine and document the condition of the cargo at this time. This inspection is commonly referred to as the pre-loading survey. This survey can be carried out by the ship's masters and officers. Owners, representatives of surveyors instructed by the owners depending on the trade of nature of the cargo. If the cargo is not as described by the shipping documentation, a decision will have to be made whether to reject the cargo or accept the cargo inadequately describe any difference on the made receipts and bill of lading. Early notification of any deficiencies to shippers is desirable together with owners' inspection or rejection of the cargo or closing the made receipts and BLs. This notification can be given direct to the shippers but is not commonly given to the agents, stevedores and characters, depending on the owner's contractual relations. Masters and deck officers employed by owners who trade their ships in line services are usually trained to the care of pre-shipment inspections. Liner companies usually employ cargo superintendents, who can be called upon to assist them in there is a problem. They may also have their own network of contracted surveyors who be called upon quickly and unusual cargo is to be loaded. Ships employed in main bulk trades, oil, grain, ore, etc., or specialized ships such as gas carriers and ro-ro vessels usually have sufficient and adequately trained masters and officers on board to take of any pre-shipment inspection that are necessary. The ship's personnel may be unfamiliar with the port and the system of loading. They may not know the agents, who almost always will be the character agents, and they will be put under pressure by the character as possibly a cargo superintendent employed by the character to load their ships as quickly as possible. In these circumstances, employment of the competent local surveyor can be most useful and cost-effective. However, problems may arise if a tramp operator is charactered to carry, for example, steel products, paper products, or breakable cargoes, but the masters and the ship's officer have little or not experience of these products. In many instances, loading operations commence immediately upon the ship's arrival, and there is a little time for the ship's personnel to inspect the cargo. Relevant details in the contract of carriage. Chartered parties. These include clauses relating to the main cargo, e.g. something clauses state that the main cargo should not be loaded or that specific clausing only the permitted on the BLS. Clauses relating to the responsibility for loading and stowage. Clauses relating to the issues of the maid's receipts and BLS. Precise instruction on the survey. The surveyor should be entrusted whether the cargo is to be inspected on the quay just before loading or in the transit shed in elsewhere prior to the ship's arrival, etc. The nature of the cargo and the time factor will probably determine this. In many cases, the owner's characters or ship's agent will not know where the cargo is stored in the port or when it is to be delivered, so the surveyor should be entrusted to survey all cargo to be loaded as near to the time of shipment as possible. Instruction is also required on the information to be given the master before the signing of the mate receipts and whether the surveyor should formulate suitable clauses relating to any damage. Usually, the surveyor should be entrusted to be present when the master signs two shipping documents. At this time, the surveyor can assist with any language problem and any disputes with the shippers, agents or characters in the closing of mate receipts and or BL. Other additional services connected with loading: inspection of ships, hatch, covers, and ventilation systems. The findings of this inspection should be provided in a separate report of confidential side letter. This is to avoid any adverse information being disclosed if the preloading report is used in a cargo dispute. Advising the master on loading, stowage, and securing. Monitoring the loading, stowage, and securing. Advising and reporting the handling damage caused by stevedores. Advising on the towing of the cargo and the issues of cargo documentation. Advising the whether the cargo can be loaded in rain. If early instructions are given, the surveyor will have time to contact the agents and stevedores to find out the exact nature of the cargo, when it is arriving at the loading berths and the proposed stowage on the ship.